to AS American, I.E.L.T.S and Toefl Training Center. I.E.L.T.S, International English as Level Testing System. Toefl, Test on English as Foreign Language. So I.E.L.T.S is British, it is Australian, and it's Cambridge University oriented examination. Toefl, it's American based examination which checks your reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills in English. So these examinations are conducted all around the world. We have come here for the writing and speaking skill development class. So these essays have been taken from Lingua, Forum, DreamTech publications, and the video number is 174. Dear folks, if you get a topic like this, you have to speak for nearly 2 minutes continuously. And your speaking test, and based on this topic, there will be a discussion between you and the examiner for almost 10 minutes. So, in writing task, if you get a topic like this, you have to speak, if you have to write for 250 words. See the topic here. If you were given. So it's a conditional sentence, isn't it? If you were given some land to use as you desire. What do you mean by that? So we give you 100 acres of land, so you can do whatever you like. We give you 100 acres of land and you can do whatever you like. Then, how would you use it? How would you use the land? You have to use specific reasons and examples to support your view. Hope you are able to understand this topic. A particular piece of land is given to you. Maybe 100 acres or 200 acres. What do you do with that? And whatever the usage, you have to use with specific reasons and examples to support your view. Now coming here. See the writer, how does he go in introduction part? If someone gave me land to use as I saw fit. If somebody gives me 100 acres of land, then I might leave it untouched. So the writer says, I'm not going to touch. I'm not going to use it for my constructing a house or factory or agriculture purpose. Nothing I'm going to do. I just leave it untouched. That's what the writer says. And he also says, for the benefit of wildlife, he goes in for saying that the land which I get is used for, I'm going to untouch it and it's going to be useful for wildlife, that is wild animals. There certainly are worse uses for land than to serve as a wildlife sanctuary. So sanctuary, what do you mean by that? It's a safe place for somebody to live in a protected area. So wildlife sanctuary, he says that land is best suitable for wildlife sanctuary and nothing better can be used from that land. So in introduction part he says he is going to choose the piece of land for wildlife sanctuary. And coming here to the next paragraph, left undisturbed, he says nothing, no agricultural activities, no industrial activities, nothing, left undisturbed. Even a small piece of land may provide a valuable shelter for thousands of species. Any land which is untouched, which we don't disturb, it will be a place for thousands of species, varieties of birds, animals to live over there. From squirrels to insects, a few hectares of woods may be home to a wide range of animals and plants. So starting from insects to animals and plants. Then he also goes in for saying even seemingly barren land, empty land, may be full of life just below the surface. Just below the surface you find the earthworms, snakes and all those things, below the earth there certain species can live. So here he says this undisturbed land will be used and may be used for the birds, for the animals, for the plants, and for all the living, most of the living beings under the earth. Now coming here once again he says, in a few hundred landowners follow this practice. If a few hundred landowners follow this practice, he also says, just like him, somebody else also follow this practice, then what happens? The benefits for wildlife might be spectacular. So something great thing will happen for wildlife animals. So leaving small, widely separated pieces of land undeveloped for the sake of wildlife may benefit animals more than setting aside large areas as refuge. So he says, just leave it untouched. That'll be a great service you do for the environment. And coming here to the next paragraph, he says, in the USA, for example, public place has been to establish large refuges for wildlife. So in USA, they made it a habit that the empty spaces should be left for wild animals. Yet there is considerable evidence that a large number of small refuges in a variety of environments can preserve more species than a single large refuge can. So he says, once again he repeats, once again he reconfirms by stating that these empty spaces can be left so it can provide a refuge for a lot of variety of species. So finally he comes to conclusion, my decision then would probably be to leave the land undeveloped. So he says, I'm not going to develop the land, it's going to be as it is. And to encourage other landowners to do the same. So he wants to be a role model. By looking at him, he wants other people to follow his methodology. A few hundred songbirds might be worth more than another apartment building. So he compares between an apartment building, constructing an apartment building, and a few hundred songbirds, which is most important. Of course, he prefers songbirds are much better than few apartment or one other apartment. So here, the topic here goes in like that. If you are given a piece of land, what would you do with that piece of land? So whatever you use, you have to say with reasons and examples. You can go in for wildlife, or you can say that the land shouldn't be disturbed, or you can go in for building a old age home, or you can go in for saying that yes, something is school construction is fine, or you may go in for apartment building, or you may go in for a industry. So whatever the purpose you want to do with the land, you have to state with the reasons and examples. Hope you are able to understand. So I am going to request all the I.E.L.T.S takers to come forward and one by one speak about this topic. Yes. So we have a gentleman who's going to write his international English level testing system examination. And if he gets a topic like this, what's he going to speak about it? So you have to introduce yourself, sir. Tell about something about your hometown. Where do you come from? What's your occupation? Which country are you planning to go? And what's the studies you're going to, take? And what exactly this topic is all about? If you get a topic like this, here the writer goes in for not disturbing the land. The land should be left for wildlife sanctuary or wildlife species to come there and live. So if a topic like this given to you, what will be your answer?
Hi and hello for everybody. I'm Sundar. I have done my diploma and I'm currently doing my interior decoration, and I plan to go for Singapore to my higher studies. And here I'm taking my I.E.L.T.S examinations. And here I have given a topic to talk about, which is what I will do if someone gives a piece of land for my use. So I will definitely leave it untouched and flourish it with trees and plants, which benefits the wildlife and birds. So I am coming from, I am staying now in Chennai, which is the biggest city, one of the biggest city in southern part of India. So I was here, Chennai was being covered with green fields, trees, and lakes and ponds in history. So what I am seeing now is our green fields are covered with concrete, paved of roads, and most of the lakes are polluted, and it is named as a Kuvama, which is the biggest polluted water. I see to real estate people see see their fast growth of money, wealth, not seeing the ecosystem, whether they are planning the right city or giving a good living space to the people. People should not just see earning of money, they should see the future generation, what they left for the future generation in the mean of air or water. So mostly the rapid growth of the human area has been expanded and left the survival of the animals, wildlife and birds, their needs in water or food is adequate, almost adequate. So I would recommend my neighbors and the landowners to leave it to leave the land untouched and give some space to the wildlife and birds, which makes the earth more eco-friendly for the future generations.
Thank you, Mr. Minachi Sundaram. Yes, next person. Yes, you can come. Sir, you have to introduce yourself. You have to tell about your name, qualification, what do you do, and which country are you planning to go. And if you get a topic like this, the topic here is so simple, like, a piece of land, maybe 100 acres of land, as we have told. What exactly would you do? You can choose your own, not exactly what the writer has given. You can say, yes, a construction or building a church or building a lake or pond, whatever it is, something, a apartment or factory or old age home, anything as you wish, you can go for that. Yes, let us start.
Dear friends, I am Francis and I have completed my degree and ecclesiastical studies, and I have undergone a diploma in hospital administration, and I have got a chance to go abroad, mainly US, and now I got this subject. If you are given some acres of land, what will you do? Okay, first possibility is that I will surely build so many apartments and villas for the growing population, those who have no houses to live, and that will mainly help them to live a better life. Those who do not have houses to live. And second possibility is that I will, if the land is barren, I will surely make this land for cultivation. That means the land should not be put in idle, but it should help to help the starving children and starving population to get the food for their hunger. And that means the land should not be put it as idle. It should be used, and it should, as human civilization tells us that humans are growing and the population is also growing. So we need to we need to hard work from the land and grow as much as grains, as much as fruits, as much as vegetables from this land. We should make it use. Then the third point is that, third possibility is that we should have a ecological balanced view of the development. It should not be detriment to the nature, but it should be a healthy approach to the nature, and the ecological balance should be there. Otherwise, nature will attack us by earthquakes and by such natural calamities will happen that will make us that will make us starve, or our life itself will be in danger. So these three possibilities I am recommending. Once again, I thank you, sir, for getting an opportunity like this here.
So, Francis, there shouldn't be any three possibilities. There's only one possibility should be given. That's what, only one choice, what you do. You should not, one piece of land is there, what you're going to do. And this is what one, single, yes, possibility. There's no other options are there. That's what test is all about. Anyway, you're told about three things we have to choose. One is building houses for the poor people. Then second, you are told about doing agriculture activities so that the poor people can be fed. And the third is? That is an ecological balance. Okay, ecological balance is what he says. Any one. What do you choose?
I choose second one. Second one is using the land for cultivation of vegetables, grains and fruits.
Is going to do cultivation. Cultivation for making money or for helping poor people?
For helping the poor and for making money also. For helping the poor and also for making money also.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you. Yes. We have a young lady over here. I request her to introduce herself, tell what examination she is going to take, where she is from, what's her occupation and what's her qualification. And if she gets a topic like this, a young lady like you getting 100 acres of land, what would you do? Yes, you have to say one particular possibility of what you're going to do, with reasons and examples to state your opinion, right? Should we start?
Good morning. My name is Anu. I'm going to write my I.E.L.T.S exam on December. I'm going to plan Canada. I got this topic of I got some of the land of desire. If I got some of desired land, means I built an orphanage for the poor peoples, or some of the born children, the kids or old peoples, etc. Because most of the homes are, they're not at all having their old peoples in their home itself. They throw out from their home and they're all staying in temple or any other roadsides. They're all staying. It's not a good thing or in our country. Because most of the kids also living in the dustbin or in a roadside way itself, they're all left the kids and went. So I prefer, I suffered for the persons who are all staying outside of the road, and some of the throughout persons to my orphanage. I want to prefer build a big orphanage for their facilities. I want to give good education for the kids was grown up. I want to give full-fledged facilities for the old peoples, and they want to start their life newly. They want to start without anyone's restriction, anyone's control. They want to be free in my orphanage. They want to live and they want to go anywhere. I want to build some of temples for the old peoples to hear the songs of and to pray the God. For the kids, they want to. I want to give most of the education for a library. Any of the yes, I want to develop my kids to sports person, cinema actors, or any of the profile they want to be achieved. So I want to give full-fledged, and I desire my land to build an orphanage for that peoples. Thank you very much.
So this young lady, Miss Anu, she says that if she gets a piece of land, she's going to build an orphanage, and she says that she has witnessed the sufferings of orphans, both elderly and young ones, and what she wants to do is make them to feel happy about it. And all the temples, churches, and schools, entertainment things she wants to provide. Okay, keep it up. And next I'll take Ms. Ramya, could you come forward? And next we have a I.E.L.T.S taker. I request this gentleman to introduce himself and tell about his qualification, which country he is going to go, and what's the purpose of him going over there. And if he gets a topic like this, if you get a piece of land, maybe 100 acres, the piece is called as, a substantial amount of land, a piece of land. So what you exactly will do with that land, multi-purposes are there, and what exact purpose you are going to use. You have to say with the reasons and examples. So 2 minutes you have time to speak.
Thank you. I am Dean Dayalan. I completed my BE in Electronics and Communication Engineering in I.E.L.T.S. I am a 2009 passed out batch. I am planning to go for USA for higher studies. Today I want to have a discussion about if you were given some land to use as a reserve. If I have the 100 or 200 crores land, I build some big industrial companies in India, because more companies in all the countries, but I want to build some companies in India, because most of the unemployment members in India. Just one of the example for me also. In 2009, it's the finance decreasing time. I searched many, I'm going a lot of companies, and they only told there is no members needed. For next generation, I want to reduce that word. Just all the members need the job for all the persons. So I want to build some large industrial companies for that land. And then the job is the main one for the human being. For human being, there is the job is the first one, and then money and everything. The job is the first step for the everything. Then that's all.
So this gentleman has gone to state that he wants to develop industrial complexes so that people get job and job opportunities, so the economical status can be improved. That is for the people who are really in need of job. So that's a good thing what he says. Okay, still, since it's the first day of his class, we have to improvise. So one other important thing we have to say that one of our student over here, I think his name is Mr. Senthil. He has written his I.E.L.T.S examination. In reading, he has got 9 marks. In reading, he has got 9 marks. That is 40 out of 40 he has got. So it's an achievement which none other institution has been able to produce. 40 out of 40 score he got, 40 answers he has got correct in his reading, and in listening, once again he got 9 marks. So all listening 40 questions he has attempted, and all 40 is correct. But in speaking, where he got only 7, and in writing he has got 7.5. So the seniors have got that amount of score. So try to practice it, and you may get a very good score. Right? So, thank you very much. வகுப்புகளுக்கு வரவேற்கிறோம். I.E.L.T.S International English Level Testing System, Toefl test on English as foreign language, I.E.L.T.S British oriented, Toefl American oriented, writing and speaking skill development class, எழுதுவது மற்றும் பேசுவதற்கான வகுப்பு பயிற்சிகள், லிங்வா ஃபோரம் ட்ரீம் டெக் கட்டுரைகள் மூலமாக எடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய கட்டுரைகள் வீடியோ நம்பர் 174க்கு வைத்திருக்கிறோம். இதை போன்று ஒரு தலைப்பு கிடைத்தால் 250 வார்த்தைகளுக்கு குறைவில்லாமல் ஒரு கட்டுரை எழுத வேண்டும். இதை போன்று ஒரு தலைப்பு கிடைத்தால் 2 நிமிடங்களுக்கு தொடர்ச்சியாக நீங்கள் பேச வேண்டும். தலைப்பு பாருங்கள். இஃப் யூ ஆர் given some land to use as you desire. desire என்றால் என்ன? நீ ஆசைப்படுகிறாய். நீ ஆசைப்படுவது போல உனக்கு ஒரு இடம் கிடைக்கிறது, அதில் நீ என்ன செய்வாய்? Then how would you use it? Use specific reasons and example to support your view. உனக்கு ஒரு 100 ஏக்கர் நிலம் கொடுத்து விடுகிறார்கள், அந்த இடத்தை வைத்து நீ என்ன செய்வாய்? இது ஒரு சப்போசிஷன், ஒரு ஊக கேள்வி. ஸோ இங்கே இந்த கட்டுரையாளர் என்ன எழுதியிருக்கிறார்? இஃப் someone gave me land to use as I saw fit, then I might leave it untouched. எனக்கு யாராவது ஒருத்தர் 100 ஏக்கர் நிலம் கொடுத்தா நான் ஒன்றுமே செய்ய மாட்டேன், அதை ஒன்றுமே செய்ய மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லி எழுதியிருக்கிறார். ஃபார் பெனிஃபிட் ஆஃப் வைல்ட் லைஃப். வைல்ட் லைஃப் என்றால் என்ன? காட்டு விலங்குகளுக்காக. There certainly are worse uses for land than to serve as a wildlife sanctuary. Sanctuary என்றால் என்ன? காப்பகம். சாங்சுவரினா பாதுகாக்கக்கூடிய இடம். வைல்ட் லைஃப்னா மிருகங்களை பாதுகாக்கக்கூடிய இடம். ஸோ மிருகங்களை பாதுகாப்பதை விட வேறு எந்த வகையிலையும் அந்த நிலத்தை இதைவிட சிறப்பாக பயன்படுத்த முடியாது என்று சொல்கிறார். left undisturbed, இந்த நிலத்தை ஒன்றும் செய்யாமல் விட்டுவிட்டால், even a small piece of land may provide a valuable shelter for thousands of species. அப்போ அந்த நிலத்தை ஒன்றுமே செய்யாமல் விட்டால் ஆயிரக்கணக்கான ஸ்பீசிஸ் என்றால் என்ன? வகை பிராணிகள், வகையான பல வகையான இனத்து உயிரினங்கள், ஃப்ரம் ஸ்குவிரில் அணில் முதற்கொண்டு இன்செக்ட் பூச்சிகள் வரைக்கும் ஏகப்பட்டது வாழும். A few hectares of woods may be home to a wide range of animals and plants. ஒரு 100 ஏக்கர் நிலத்தை விட்டுட்டோம்னா பல மிருகங்கள், பல மரம் செடிகள் அங்கே இருக்கும். Even seemingly barren land may be full of life. வெறுமனை விட்டு விட்டாலும் கூட just below the surface, நிலத்துக்கு அடியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பூச்சிகள், புழுவுகள், அவைகள் கூட வாழும் என்று சொல்கிறார். So if a few hundred landowners followed this practice, அப்போ இவர் என்ன சொல்கிறார்? என்னை போன்று மற்ற நில ஓனர்களும் நில அதிபர்களும் இதை பின்பற்றினால், இடத்தை பயன்படுத்தாமல் விட்டுவிட்டால், the benefits for wildlife might be spectacular. அப்புறம் மிருகங்களுக்கு, காடுகள் வனத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மிருகங்களுக்கு ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு வாழ்க்கை அமைந்துவிடும். Living small widely separated pieces of land undeveloped for the sake of wildlife may benefit animals more than setting aside large areas as refuges. So வன காப்பகங்களை விட்டு அதை விட சில இடங்களை விட்டுவிட்டால், ஒன்றுமே செய்யாமல் விட்டுவிட்டால், அது அந்த காப்பகத்தை விட சிறந்ததாக இருக்கும். இந்த யுஎஸ் அமெரிக்காவிலே ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் பப்ளிக் பிளேசஸ் ஹேஸ் பீன் டு எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் லார்ஜ் ரெஃப்யூஜஸ் ஃபார் வைல்ட் லைஃப். அமெரிக்காவிலே பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் ஆயிரக்கணக்கான ஏக்கர் நிலங்களை மிருகங்களுக்காக, வனவிலங்கு சரணாலயங்களுக்காக ஒதுக்கி இருக்கிறார்கள். Yet there is considerable evidence that a large number of small refugees, அதை விடுத்து சிறு சிறு இடங்களாக 100 ஏக்கர் 50 ஏக்கர் தனித்தனியாக ஒதுக்கும் பொழுது, in a variety of environments, பல சூழ்நிலைகளிலே, can preserve more species, பல வன விலங்குகளை பாதுகாக்கலாம் then a single large refuge can. ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய வனவிலங்கு சரணாலயம் இருப்பதை விட சிறு சிறு இடங்கள் சரணாலயமாக மிருகங்கள் வாழக்கூடிய இடங்களாக வைத்திருப்பது சிறந்தது என்று கட்டுரையாளர் சொல்கிறார். மை டிசிஷன், என்னுடைய முடிவு, then would probably be to leave the land undeveloped and to encourage other landowners to do the same. அப்போ நிலத்தை ஒன்றுமே செய்யாமல் மற்ற விவசாயிகளுக்கு, மற்ற நில அதிபர்களும் என்னை போன்று அவர்களும் பின்தொடர வேண்டும் என்று சொல்கிறார். A few hundred songbirds might be worth more than another apartment building. ஒரு இடத்த சும்மா விட்டு விடுகிறோம், அதில் ஆயிரக்கணக்கான பறவைகள் வருகிறது. இந்த பறவைகள் ஒரு கட்டிடம், ஒரு அப்பார்ட்மெண்ட்டை விட இந்த பறவைகள், ஒரு 100 பறவைகள் இருப்பது சிறந்தது என்று இந்த கட்டுரையாளர் சொல்கிறார். இனி அடுத்து வரக்கூடிய வீடியோக்களில் மற்றவைகளை பார்ப்போம். தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச்.